Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. I'm so excited you're here. We've got an intermediate Wunda Chair F2 step barrel session for you today. It's a great workout. I really enjoy this one. I hope you do too. If you're enjoying these videos, please smash that like button and hit subscribe to view more videos like this one. So I'm glad you're here. Let's move. Okay guys, I'm going to start with an intermediate BASI Pilates warm-up. I've got my awesome assistant Rachel here with me today. Hi. And here we go. If you're training at intermediate level, I do like to do the intermediate warm-up. So we're going to start. Why don't you just step towards the front of your mat right there and face away from me. Put your feet about sits bones width apart, heels against mine. There you go. Have a nice little posture. Take a breath in. And exhale, roll down. I love starting with the roll down. It's a great way for your client to check in with their body, kind of seeing how they're feeling for the day. Excellent opportunity for you to watch your client, watch their movement patterns, see if there's any asymmetries in their movement. Take a breath in, exhale, scoop and roll up. Nice way to see how they're coordinating breath with movement. You can watch the shoulder line, the rib line, the pelvic line, the foot line. Take a breath in, exhale, roll down. Just a nice way to commence your session. Also a great way to conclude your session. Be sure you're watching your client from all angles to get as much feedback as you can from their movement pattern before they begin. Take a breath in, exhale, roll up, pull into your abs, push your sacrum under as you're coming up, and try to bias slightly towards your toes a little bit more. There you go. And as you come up, we're going to pull our hands back just a little bit so those shoulders open up a little more. That's very nice. Take a breath in. Do one more for me. Exhale, roll down. Cervical, thoracic, lumbar. I like the way she's got her hands actively facing one another. Scoop, breathe in, exhale it. Not creating tension in the arm, but creating a nice arm length and line throughout the movement. That looks good. Why don't you just cross one foot over the other, let yourself sit down, and then lie down on your mat. Arms above your head, legs out long. Give yourself a nice stretch. We're going to squeeze those legs together. The intermediate BASI warm-up is roll up, spine twist supine, double leg stretch, single leg stretch, and crisscross. So we got a little bit of movement here right off the bat. We're going to come into your C curve on the inhale. I want you to really establish that C curve. Hold that line. Exhale, roll up and through, maintaining that C curve. You're just kind of maintaining that position. Hold, breathe in, and exhale, roll down. That was very nice. And big stretch back with your arms. Inhale into your C curve. Exhale, we're going to start to come up. Keeping those arms horizontal to the floor, parallel to the floor. And right about here, you're coming a little far forward. I want you to lift up just a tad. That's it. Take a breath in. Exhale down. You don't want your client collapsing on that roll up. Once they've gotten that C curve, they're going to maintain that C curve, that shape of their spine, and not collapse down. Not extend, of course, but not collapse. A little more adduction on your inner thighs. Exhale it. Nicely done. Hold, breathe in, and exhale, roll down. We're coming just about to the hip line with the shoulders, or maybe bias slightly forward of it, but we're not going to go any further than that. One more time. Inhale into your C curve, exhale up. That looks really nice. You can see she's maintained the shape of that C curve that she's created in the beginning. As she comes down, it's that same position as the lower back touches. Hands just kind of drift down next to the side, and then we reach up and over for a little stretch. Good. How'd that feel? Good. Awesome. T position your arms, palms face the ceiling. I always like to, if I'm practicing on my own, look from side to side to make sure my arms are directly out from my shoulders, ensuring that I've got a good position there. Let's take tabletop one at a time. Always bring your tabletop legs in one at a time. Safer for your back, helps engage the core a little bit. We're going to twist away from me. Inhale, exhale, back to center. So that whole lower unit should move as one. Inhale and exhale, back to center. You shouldn't see your client or yourself, your knees veering from one another. Knees stay together, hips stay together, upper body stays together. The only movement is occurring at the waist, as if your waist was a washcloth and you're wringing that washcloth out. Inhale, away from me. Use your abdominal obliques to pull back to center. Try not to get into that QL too much. Inhale and exhale to center. I'm going to take your feet down just a little bit. Inhale, away from me. Very nice. Exhale to center. You want to ensure that they're maintaining that nice connected position of their legs. And exhale to center. Let's do one more each side. Bring this hip up just a little bit. That's it. Exhale to center. I'm a big fan of less is more. If you feel that you or your client or yourself are coming out of position, keep your legs there, or feeling a little, I don't know, I don't like to use the word sloppy, but excessive in your movement, just shorten your range of motion to get a better line out of that movement. Take your arms above your chest. Come into your C curve, grab the tops of your knees. We're going into double leg stretch. Now as we get into these isometric abdominal exercises, we can bias those knees in just a little bit. You're not pulling them in, but you're biasing just beyond that 90 to get a little deeper lower abdominal engagement. We're gonna reach your arms and legs out. Right there, try to maximize that shoulder stretch without shrugging or losing shoulder scapula stabilization. Exhale, pull back to that starting position. Inhale out. Exhale, pull back to that starting position. Inhale out. Exhale. Again, we're not taking those knees in. We're just taking them slightly biased past that 90-degree position. Two more. Inhale out. Exhale, pull. She's got a really nice shoulder line. Let's do one more. Give it a nice reach. Give it a nice reach. That's it, Rachel. That's it. And around. Both hands over your right knee. That outside hand is going to come over the top hand, just like that. Make sure that knee is just at 90 and those feet are along the same horizontal line here. And we switch. Outside hand over the top as you switch, yeah? And keep your feet right here. You're dropping a little bit. That's it, right there. No cramping in your toes, Rachel. There's no cramping allowed. And exhale. Now we're looking good. Exhale. Keep those feet moving along the same horizontal line. Now we keep those legs going as we interlace our hands behind our head. And we rotate to the bent knee. I love this saying. I learned this from Rail. Maximize forward flexion. Forward flexion takes priority over rotation. So if you feel you're losing that forward flexion, rotate a little bit less and focus on keeping that forward flexion. We're going to keep those elbows a little bit wider and you're dropping that outside leg. No, there you go. And boom. And boom. Now we're talking. Boom. One more each side. Come back to center, both legs tabletop, grab your thighs, give yourself a little pull into forward flexion. You're just stretching that back out, maximizing those abdominals. And then we lie the body down, lengthen the legs out, reach your arms overhead. Oh,
I'm already sweating.
She's already sweating. That's why they call it a warm-up. It's not just a warm-up to warm your client up or to warm yourself up. It's also about you as an instructor to see how your client is moving, to see how those movement patterns are connecting. If we're into an intermediate warm-up and that client's just falling apart and they're not really ready for it, take it back to the fundamental or foundational warm-up, okay? Nicely done. Let's move on to some footwork. Okay, we're back to the Wunda Chair now. We're gonna get some footwork in. I'm gonna have her have a seat. We're going right to the very edge of that chair. I want your sits bones on the very edge of the chair so that you get some good movement through the legs. We're going to take the heels up on the bar. I've got her on 3-3, which is a little conservative. I think she might be a little stronger than that, but we'll be a little nice today. So today I'd like you to take your hands back, and we're just going to make little spiders with your hands, just like that. and just kind of hold it. This is one of my favorite positions. You know, we're on computers, we're on cell phones, so the shoulders get a nice little stretch when you're in this position. And if you can, take your elbows back just a little bit. You don't have to pinch your shoulder blades together, but just find this alignment here. Okay, we're heels parallel, about sits bones width apart. We're going to take a breath in. As you exhale, lengthen down. Do you feel like it's a good bite on your heels? Good, inhale out. I just held the bar for just a moment so I can make sure that she's got a good feel in those heels. You want the heels as close to the very edge without obviously sliding off. We're watching for instability of the pelvis, instability of the rib cage. We're keeping that nice postural alignment. That looks great. Exhale down, inhale up. I'm a true believer in controlled movement. I want the control of the body through the movement. If you're pumping through this footwork series, you're not able to get that shoulder scapula stabilization. You're not able to get that pelvic lumbar stabilization. You're not able to get that trunk support. Try to, as you press out, you're just going to let that ankle, there you go. You want that ankle to articulate nicely with the movement of the legs. Excellent job. From the top, you're going to go to your toes parallel, a couple inches apart, plant to flex your feet, and then drop the feet down just a tad. You don't want to be rolling out on your ankle joint. Bring your knees in a little bit, go ahead and press down. How's that position feel? Okay, feel secure? Excellent. I am constantly communicating with my client. If you're working out along with us, I want you to be communicating with yourself. Do I feel safe? Is my foot position good? How's my postural alignment? If you do have the luxury of mirrors in your studio or your home where you're working out along with us, don't spend a lot of time checking yourself from your movement of the head or looking in the mirrors. Try to find that proprioception. Where's my body in space? You don't want to create your own habitual movement patterns by always looking to one direction. Posture's looking good. She's keeping her shoulders over her hips. She's got a nice parallel position of her legs. Pelvic lumbar stability looks good. She's got a really nice range of motion up. If you feel that your range of motion up is inhibited by a tight hamstring or tight hip flexor and your pelvis is coming in and out of position, shorten your range a little bit. Again, my favorite saying, less is more. Nicely done. How's that feeling? Okay, do we want a little more challenge? Sure. Heels together. Let's challenge her a little bit more. Close your knees just a tad. Good. And keep that postural alignment and bring your hands to interlace behind your head. Oh yeah, here we go. Press it out. So we've just taken the stability of the arms away. You don't have to change arm positions if you don't want to, but she was looking really good. I'm going to challenge her a little bit here. She's not happy with me, but that's okay. That's okay. What's that?
I'll regret it later.
No, you won't. We've got to take our bodies beyond their normal capacities, beyond their normal capabilities to show improvement, right? Good abdominal security, good stabilization through the midsection. I can see this really nice co-contraction between back extensors and hamstrings. Shoulder scapula stabilization looks great. Pelvis is just coming in and out of position a little bit, so we're going to take our lower abs in just a little bit. There you go. Now we're not moving as much. Okay? And I'm going to be kind on the next one. So take your heels to the outside corners. Take your hands back to their original starting position. There you go. Okay, hold that line right about there. How's that feel? Take your ribs in a tad, lift up through the upper thoracic spine. Nicely done. Press it out. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Feet feel okay there? It's looking good. So the BASI footwork is parallel heels, parallel toes, V position toes, open V heels, open V toes. We'll go to, calf raises after that. Then we'll go into single leg heels, single leg toes. That's the series of the footwork. Try not to cut out that single leg heel or single leg toe. It's really important. It really helps the body's balance from one side to the other. Inhale up, exhale down. If you're using this as observation to work on teaching, Be sure that you're watching from all directions, from all angles, watching all alignments of the body. Hold at the top. We're going to go to your toes, to the outside corners, open V toes. Feels okay? Press down just a tad, just right about there. If you come up a little bit more, the pelvis just comes out of position. There you go. Exhale down. Lower abs just a little bit, pull those ribs in. You want to kind of have that sensation that your abdominal obliques and transverse abdominals are creating like a belt around your midsection, like you're cinching a belt around your midsection. And that co-contraction with back extensors is what creates that beautiful alignment. She's looking great. Not quite so high. We're going to come up just to about there. There you go. As she comes a little bit too high, the pelvis just gently starts to posteriorly tilt. So we want to keep that nice alignment right here. Sometimes if clients are having a hard time, or if you're having a hard time feeling that position, you can take a pull and press it up and let that client kind of feel that alignment from the sacrum through the spine. They'll feel a little bit, if they're a neutral spine, neutral pelvis, a little bit of space right here depending on their personal posture, and that gives them some really nice tactile feedback when they're doing their footwork to feel that alignment. And up you go. Nicely done. I've got the pedal. You can step off of there. Good. I'm going to move the mat just a moment. And you're going to put your toes right about here. We're going to go into our calf raises. Put your hands here. This is an awesome calf raise. It's actually one of my favorite. When your legs are straight, you're using that gastrocnemius mostly, but since the knee is bent at an angle, you're getting into the soleus a little bit more. It's an excellent opportunity to kind of break up your calf work. Let's take this knee to the very edge. Push the toe down a little bit. There you go. Oh, you got a good bite there? Nope, other way. There you go. Okay, how's that feel? Find your alignment. Make sure that pelvis is aligned both sagittally and coronally. You want to make sure that it's not tilted. You want to make sure you're not twisted. Pull the ribs up a little bit. Point. Exhale. Inhale up. Nice. That's a beautiful alignment. Let's just come forward a tad. There you go. And I like to do 15 to 20 repetitions here. Obviously, if you or your client start to get to a point where you're shaking, it's not feeling comfortable, cut the repetitions back a little bit. But she's strong. We're going to take this hip down just a little bit. Yes, that's it. Nicely done. Keep those observation points up from all directions. What are the shoulders doing? What is the head placement doing? What is the rib cage placement doing? What's the pelvic placement doing? What's that down leg placement doing? Is that heel nice and anchored? Good. How many is that?
I have no idea.
I should have been counting. She wasn't counting. Let's say that's around 15 or 20. Let's switch legs. So, you know, doing double leg, no big deal. If you're doing single leg, you definitely want to count because you want to make sure you're doing equally on both sides. Okay. Right below the patella is a little groove between your patella and your shin. And I want the knee just sitting into the corner of the machine right about there. Drop this hip back a little bit and press and flex. Excellent. If this feels uncomfortable for you or your client, you can take a pad. You can get a padded mat like this, or you can grab, we have kneeling pads here in the studio. For our reformers, you can take a kneeling pad, put that between, but you don't want a lot of pressure into it. You're actually using the stability of your core and your leg to keep from pushing too hard into that. Let's do 3 more. Keep the head in line with the spine. There you go. Ribs in a little bit. Nicely done. Awesome. Off you go. Okay, so whatever weight you've decided to work with, go ahead and take a little bit of weight off. Watch your feet. I've got her on 3-3. I'm going to take her down to 3-2. That might be a little tough. We'll see how she does. So, have a seat back to your original starting position. Single leg heel, single leg toes. This can get really challenging. This is a big challenge on the hip flexor if you're doing it with the legs straight out at 90 degrees. We'll see how she does. Let's take your right leg out. You can modify or assist this if you need to. Let's come down just a little bit. That'll allow that posture to lift up. Go ahead and press. Inhale up. That's 1 repetition. She's doing really well. 2. How about 8 reps? 3. And if you're struggling a little bit, you can put your foot on a ball. You can bend your knee to modify it a little bit. If you use a ball, that's an assist. If you bend your knee, that's modifying it. Or if you're working with somebody, you can just help them a little bit. I'll just give her a little bit of help. There you go. I've got her hands down to the side of the body, kind of adducting into the machine to give her a little stability and support. And we're going to switch legs at the top. That's not easy. You're doing great. Here we go. This leg, you can see it's not quite as flexible as the other one, and most people have an asymmetry in their legs, where one side's a little tighter or one side's a little looser. Ribs in just a tad, good. Keep those shoulders pulling back. This arm should be adducted a little bit more, there you go. It's not very nice, but I'll come behind my clients and I'll push out on their hands to see if they're actively adducting a little bit to ensure that they're creating their own stability in this movement. Oh, Rachel, that's it.
That one doesn't like it.
And we'll do one more. Very nice. So, switch legs, go to your toes. And we're gonna modify this because I can see those hip flexors are getting a little tired on her. So you're gonna take your opposite leg out and we're just gonna bend the knee a little bit. And keep the femur at that 90 degree or that perpendicular position, right? Horizontal position, I should say, and just soften that to take pressure off the hip flexor. Lift your heel up a little, not quite that much. There you go. And let's try that. And now that we've modified it, we really want to work on that posture, lifting up, finding those co-contracting muscles, back extensors, abdominals, working together. That looks great. Feel a little better? She's a little happier with me now. You're coming into a slight twist. There you go. You feel that? Good. Switch legs. So again, watch your own position. Get a good feel for where you're at. Check yourself if you're working out along with us. If you're using this as an observation, make sure that you're watching all positions of the client. How that pelvic positioning is holding. Not just posterior, anterior, but coronal and transverse as well. So again, for some reason you're tight on one side. There you go. Now just lift up from right here. There you go. Nicely done. And that's our job. Our job is to identify those habitual movement patterns, educate your client or yourself on them, and correct them. We're neuromuscularly, neurologically re-educating those negative movement patterns. That's good. How's that feel?
Good.
Awesome. Off you go. Yeah. It came from the lower, not just the upper. Okay, we're gonna go into the seated pike. Our next block is the abdominal block. I'm gonna be really kind with her. We're gonna go down to 1-0, maybe 2-0. Let's try 2-0. I did leave this mat here because this floor is nice. It's got a little cushion to it, but it's definitely could be a little hard on the sits bone. So we'll just keep this pad down here. So go ahead and scoot towards. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Your feet go onto the top. We want an active seated C curve. You don't want yourself collapsing in this or your client collapsing into this. It's an active seated C curve. The arch of the foot is just kind of reaching over the top, almost in this prehensile position, and hands just over the barbell, shoulder width apart. Let's go a little deeper. There you go. And make sure that the head is in line with the spine. From here, once this is established, the movement just comes from the arms. Exhale, press. A little more. That's it. Inhale up. And she's not super happy with me. If she was on 1-0, she'd be really happy with me. But you know, push yourselves or push your clients. See if you can get to that next level. Add a little more. And if not, you can always come back or up depending on what exercise you're doing to make it a little bit easier. So I want you to use your triceps a little bit more. Yes, yes, especially this one. Yes, keep that co-contraction at the elbow joint. And 2 more. So take the head down just a little bit and then keep that seat. There you go. Your back extensors are starting to fire. Did you feel that? Yeah, nicely done. I'm going to take the pedal. You're going to come off of there.
Easier that way.
I know. The body is a biomechanical genius. It'll always pick the path of least resistance, trust me. So we're going to go on to some hip work next. We'll be right back with the F2 step barrel. Okay, I switched over to the F2 step barrel. This is an awesome piece of equipment. If you need a home gym, it's all here. You can do footwork, ab work, hip work, spinal articulation, full body integration, lateral flexion rotation, back extension. I mean, it's all in this little piece of apparatus. I love the contour of it. The F2 is an amazing addition to it. It's just a must-have in your studio or in your home, so I hope you enjoy this. We're going to do our hip work block and our spinal articulation block here. We might even do our stretch block here now I'm thinking about it. Okay? So, when you're coming over the contour of this, what I've done is I've put the step piece from the ladder barrel down here, so she's going to have a little bit of lift, so her hips will be more towards the apex of the barrel. You can purchase a little lift from here, or you can get creative with some mats, but this works perfectly. When you're coming over the barrel, be careful. You don't just slam down onto your shoulders. You want to lie onto the barrel. You want to start pushing yourself back. Put your feet up on the edge. Bring your hands down to the handles and let your back come down just to your shoulders. You don't want to be on your neck or your head. That should be very free and clear. You feeling comfortable there?
Yeah, it's comfy.
Awesome. So let's take this foot straight up and hold it there for just a moment. You can bend your knee and a little deeper, just kind of hold it so the spring's not so loaded. And take this foot up and just go right about there. Let's take your legs straight up. So what I want you to do, and what I like to do when I'm working out with this piece, is I mark my toes in the ceiling where that perpendicular line of the legs would be. So you're always going to come back to that point. You have kind of a go-to, right? Come back to your frog position. Heels just opposite of the sits bones. Come a little deeper if you like. Good. Keep your ribs in a little bit, shoulders relaxed, and we start with frog. Inhale, bend. Frog and openings is done in external rotation. Then we'll go to parallel. We'll do our scissors and helicopter. This is just an awesome piece of equipment. I love this movement. I love the challenge that the springs gives to you. You're always welcome to do the step barrel hip series with the ankle weights. It's a little bit different, but when you add the F2, it's a great challenge, and we only have the 4 movement positions. We do not add bicycle. Good. The movement comes from the hips. Think of your core and the hips pressing the legs out. The feet in the strap, they just kind of go along for the ride. Inhale and exhale. Use that breath to create a rhythm for the movement. We're going to go into openings. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. As you can see, because she's marked a nice little spot in the ceiling there, she's really hitting her lines nicely. I'm not doing a lot of corrections on hitting that perpendicular line of the legs. That looks great. How's your neck and shoulders feeling?
Good.
Always be in constant communication with yourself, be in constant communication with your client. Whether you're working with yourself, you want to be checking in with yourself. How am I feeling? Am I creating any tension in my neck or shoulders? Am I losing my abdominal control? Am I losing my pelvis control? Same thing with your client. Always ensure that they are having a good session. They're feeling comfortable. When you come together, bring those knees a little more. Knees, knees, knees. So you want to use your quadricep a little more. That's it. Her adductors are getting a little tired, so her hamstrings are taking over a little bit. We're going to stop here, go to parallel. Scissors, when you open, should be creating this nice, little bit more. That's it, Rachel, hold it there. I know you get a little shaky. This nice, even martini glass, this nice, even V position. It's exhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale, inhale. And no cramping. Don't make me get a new model, Rachel. and creating that nice even movement. Not too much hamstring, not too much quadricep. She's cramping a little bit, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, you need a break?
No.
Okay, so from here, don't point so hard. If you're feeling that your arch or your toes are cramping a lot, you might be pointing too hard, and that's creating a little bit too much tension in the foot. Let this just kind of relax a little bit, yeah? Okay, we're gonna do an alternate helicopter. Inhale, right towards you. Exhale, evenly around with both legs and back to that center spot. And then we alternate. Inhale, exhale around, and center. If you have a newer client, you might not alternate. You might do 3 or 4 on one side and then 3 or 4 on the other side. But she's an intermediate worker. She's been doing this for a while. I like to alternate these movements. And center. One more each direction, then you're getting tired. Exhale.
I did this yesterday.
And center, you did?
I did.
Why'd you do this yesterday? And around. And center, good. We're gonna bend for just a moment, let the feet relax, let the legs relax, because I'm going right into spinal articulation. We're gonna go right into the rollover. If the springs are creating too much challenge, then we'll take those springs off and step back a little bit. Again, do what's best for your client, push them, give them a little push, give them a little nudge, but don't overdo it. Honor your bodies, honor your clients' bodies. They trust you, they know that you're gonna keep them safe. Okay, why don't you give it a try? Come out to a diagonal line. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Find that line. Gentle external rotation. There you go. Here we go. Inhale to 90 degrees or perpendicular to the floor. Exhale to me. We're keeping that back against the mat. We're keeping those legs horizontal to the floor right here. We flex dorsi. Open inhale, about shoulder width apart. Maximize that stretch without losing the position of the back or pelvis. And then come back, pointing around midway and back to your 45 degree or 60 degree line. On your own. Inhale. Exhale. Find your line, hit that line, flex, open, stretch. Nice, Rachel, and through. Don't go wider, keep those feet along the same line that you created. Inhale to perpendicular, straight up and down. Exhale over. Little bit more, right there. Flex, open, stretch, and roll through. That's better, that's better. You don't want to go out wider than you've just created. Hit that line, get your stretch, and then go back down along the same line. Flex, open, stretch. Come on, max it out, that's it, and we got a little bit of movement out of the pelvis, but we knew we were maxed. You got one more in you? Looking good, looking really good. And flex, open, stretch. Nice. Got a little bit deeper on each one. Around, bend your knees, and relax. That was awesome, nice work. Okay, we're back to the Wunda Chair. Now the next block after spinal articulation is going to be the stretch block. We actually went over to the reformer, did a nice lunge standing, did a nice little hip flexor hamstring stretch. It's just a great way to kind of break up the session and give her a nice stretch before we move on. So make sure you give yourself a nice little stretch in that stretch block, whatever you choose to do. So we're going into full body integration. We're going to go into torso press sit. So you're going to flip your body around, face the other direction. One of my favorite exercises, especially for me, I'm really tight in my pecs and shoulders. This is a great way to get a nice little stretch and teach my own personal body good co-contraction through movement throughout that stretch. Oh, for Rachel, let's see, let's try 2-0, see how that feels. If you need, I can adjust from there. That feels pretty good. It might be a little precarious, but we'll see. So you want to be fairly close to the center of the Wunda Chair here. You're good right there. I think you're in a good position. Because as you come back, you're going to roll into that position. So bring your hands back, take your legs up just to here. No, keep them bent, just take them up to here, and kind of establish that line. Okay, can you lift up a little bit? Now, lengthen your legs out and push down. Push down, 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 push down. This is where we're going to start, right about here. How are you feeling in that position?
Okay.
Shoulders okay?
Yeah, my hands are sweaty.
Okay, do you want stickies?
No.
Okay, so head and line through spine. Push back a little more, abs in a little bit. Keep the line of your legs right here, you got it? Inhale to prepare, exhale, lift. The chest lifts towards the ceiling. We keep that co-contraction between abdominals and back extensors. It's a hinging, drop your legs just a tad, a hinging movement. Not an articulation. Inhale. Exhale. Keep that co-contraction, chest up, chest up, chest up, chest up, little more, that's it. Inhale back. Exhale up. Chin up a little bit, that's it. Inhale back. Find your line, that's it, Rachel. Exhale up. Keep those legs from lifting, that's it, don't move. And bend your knees and relax. Not an easy exercise. She really made that look easy. It is a tough exercise. Get that hinging action, get that nice stretch. Make sure you're co-contracting. If you have hypermobile elbows, be careful with your body when you're doing that movement. Okay, you're gonna flip your body around. I'm gonna grab a moon box. I'm gonna put this right here. We're gonna go into some arm work. I'd like you to sit right here facing that direction. And I think for you, I'm gonna try 2-2, see how that feels. I might adjust it from there. Let's try that. That feels a little heavy, you just let me know. So we're gonna take the pedal down, we're in the arm work block. And you put your hands about shoulder width apart, right about there. Knees are bent, feet are flat, lift your posture up nice and high. Find that shoulder scapula stabilization. You press down a little bit more, that's it. Right about there. We're going into shrugs. I'm gonna let go of the pedal. You got it? Okay. Pull in here just a little bit and come back to me just a tad. That's it. Now, the scapula needs to glide up and glide down. And so you protracted a little bit, your scapula came forward. So come up, keeping the engagement up, that's the opposite. So we want right in between the two. Inhale, glide up, that's it. And exhale, glide down. Inhale, exhale. Can you lift up here a little more back extension? Now glide up, that's it, that's it. Keep that line, really nice. Allow that scapula to elevate and depress. Inhale, keep this extender right here active. There, feel that? She's getting into a slight posterior, and I want that pelvis neutral. Now we're going to keep this position. We're going to keep that depressed position of the shoulder blades as we bend the elbows behind us for sitting triceps. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that shoulder line to stay nice and still, nice and even. Only bend to where you feel comfortable. If you start to bend too much, bend more, bend more, bend more, bend more, bend. You see that elevation of the shoulders, you don't want that. So go back to your scapula position, neutral scapula, right there, that's it. And bend, that's what you're looking for. That's a beautiful position. Now, if we're doing great, if you're feeling really good, you're feeling really confident with this movement, which she is, I've got the pedal, take your arms out. I've got the pedal, good. Always ensure that you let your client know that you've got the pedal, you've got the bar, you've got the machine, you're aware and you're here for them. If you're feeling good with that exercise, we're gonna advance it. I know,
yeah.
I know, no fun. We're gonna go to frog back. So, I'm gonna be kind to her. I'm gonna do 3-3, maybe even 4-3 to be extra kind. That might be too kind, but we'll try. Let's do 3-3. Let's do 4-3.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be nice, I'll be nice. So sit here. We're gonna push the pedal down together and you're gonna bring your body down to the floor. Come on off. Okay. Now, try to keep the range from the heels to the sits bones equal in the same as you're coming up and down. You don't want the knee joint to elongate and contract. We've got the same position that we were in the seated triceps. You feeling okay there? Nice shoulder scapula stabilization. Elbows parallel and up and down. stop at the bottom. Bring your chest forward. That's it. You saw that, didn't you? She leaned back as she went up. We're gonna try to keep that chest forward. We're trying to come straight up.
Oh.
That's it. Oh, couldn't come off. I'm gonna add a little bit more weight. A little bit more weight. Try it again.
Epic failure.
That was not an epic failure. It's never an epic failure. It's always an experience. We strive for perfection, yet we honor intention, and the intention was there. Yes, now we're looking better. Now we're looking better. I can't remember the student's name offhand who came up with that. Rail loved it, I loved it. I'll put it in the description below. We strive for perfection, we honor intention. And forward, forward, come on, forward, that's it, and sit up. Oh man, that's a workout. That is a lot of work. But make sure that you've got down that shrugs and tricep sitting, because that's what helps prepare you for that frog back. So that being said, let's go right into frog front. I'm gonna take it down to 3-3, maybe even 3-2 for her, we'll see. Your front is adding, we're into additional leg work. You know what? Let's not do that.
Okay.
I want to show the standing leg press. We're going to go to 3-0 because this is one I see done incorrectly a couple times.
Yeah.
And I think this would be a little better. Okay, so what you're going to do is stand right about here. You want to ensure that when you're standing at the machine and your leg is up at the top, the leg is straight. So your pelvis is neutral, the leg is straight, palms face down. Okay? Are you feeling good there? You want to come forward a tad. Okay, how's that feel? Make sure that your pelvis is neutral. Give me a slight posterior, right there. Shoulder scapula stabilized, posture's good, good co-contraction. From here, you're going to pull. You're pulling on the knee flexor, using the gluteus medius to support, and then the knee extensor presses down. So you're straight at the bottom. Inhale, you're straight at the top. Inhale, exhale, down. Inhale up. That looks really nice, Rachel. How's the weight feel? You need a little bit more?
No.
Okay. Again, if you feel like you or your client is doing exceptionally well, challenge them a little bit. You can always go backwards. You can always go back. I feel like she's got a good little challenge there. And pull, press, pull all the while supporting with that gluteus medius. Switch legs. She's doing really good on her balance. If I had a client or I was working with myself or somebody that wasn't very stable, take this pelvis down, that's it. I would just stand here with them. I would be close to them or give them a little bit of support because this requires a lot of balance. There's a lot of work happening with this stabilizing leg. So if you're here, or if you personally are working out on your own, you could use a pull, Pilates pull, to give yourself a little balance. So we're getting a little out of position with the pelvis. Drop that down. There you go. Now keep that position. That's it, that's it, that's it. Oh, okay, now we're talking. Exhale, in and out. Inhale, release and out. Use that breath to create a rhythm. That breath creates an inner rhythm for the movement. I got you, I'm here for you. See that? I start talking and what happens? My client falls down and hurts themselves. Always be here, always be proactive, always be a part of the session. You as a teacher are just as much a part of the session as your body is. Excellent job. I know that side doesn't work as well, does it? I love this. I love humanity. The human body moves in so many different ways and so many different kinds of movements. Awesome, nicely done. Let's go to the kneeling side stretch, or side stretch kneeling. I think I'm going to keep it on 3-0, and I'm going to grab a mat for you. because I just want to protect your knees. From here, go ahead and face this direction, knees about shoulder width apart. We're going to take the pedal right down to the side of your body, fingers facing forward, and this is important. Make sure that shoulder scapula is stabilized and you're holding that bar down. Okay, you got it? Is that too heavy for you? Okay, let's try that. Bring this arm up. Palm kind of faces upwards, internally rotated here. Exhale over. Inhale up. We're working in that coronal plane, staying between those two panes of glass, not allowing the hips to push out, not allowing the spine to just collapse in lateral movement, but almost as if it was a tree trunk and it's just kind of swaying with the wind. You're not really crunching the bark on this side of the tree. You're just swaying into lateral flexion. Ah, nice, that felt good. You're letting the ribs go a little bit. Thank you. Keeping that co-contraction. Keeping this unit nice and still. And a little deeper, little deeper, little deeper. Beautiful job. Other side, that was excellent. Okay, switch. We're gonna take that pedal right next to your side. Keep that scapula stabilized. You're into your back a little bit, pull your ribs down and just slightly posterior. There you go. A little tight on that side, huh? And over you go. Oh, really tight on the side. Again, I just love working with the human body. You can see all these asymmetries. If you're working with golfers, if you yourself are a golfer, tennis player, you're definitely going to see one side that's tighter than the other, one side that has better rotation than the other. There you go. Let's start to loosen up. Staying between those two panes of glass. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Go, 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 go. That's it. Nicely done. Beautiful job. And off you go. And while you're there, we'll just transition right into swan floor. I'm going to go down to maybe 2-0 or 1-0, depending on how you feel. Let's try that. Let's try 2-0. That's feeling pretty good. These springs are pretty new, so we'll see how they feel. Bring your arms up. You want your arms to really reach here. This just in itself is a lovely stretch. Head down just a tad, keeping the head in line with the spine. Legs are together. We're going to initiate this movement with back extension as we simultaneously depress the bar. The bar just comes right down to kiss the floor. She's really working her back extensors here. And as you exhale, the bar releases. The back extensors let go. And it's this beautiful movement together as one. Inhale, up. Exhale down. Reach out through the crown of the head. Right here, just pull your shoulder blades back a tad. Head up just a little bit. Pull your ribs in a little bit. That's it. I want you to feel that you're secure here. So you're not tense, but the abdominals are secure, securing this movement. Inhale, up. Nice. Exhale down. We're going to do one more. We're going to do a couple more actually, but I want you to initiate with those back extensors. Initiate your, there you go. As she's initiating with that back extension, the shoulders just dropped right into their pockets. The shoulder blades have to elevate a little bit because the humerus is above the shoulder line. But as she comes up and that humerus drops down, we want a nice neutral scapula position. We talk about neutral pelvis all the time, but don't neglect neutral scapula. Where should that scapula be during movement patterns to create that beautiful glenohumeral rhythm? Nice. Got one more in you? Excellent. Now we're just finding a nice flow. That was beautiful. I've got the bar. You can go into rest position for a moment. Anytime you do back extension, I always encourage you to go into a little bit of flexion afterwards to stretch your spine out. Rest position's a great way to do that. From here, go ahead and just stand up. Come to the front of your mat. I'm gonna pull this back, get a good workout.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Feet a couple inches apart. Let's see how that body's moving now compared to how we started. Take a breath in and exhale down. We're a little better on the shoulders, but I still feel like when you come up, you can bring those thumbs back just a tad. A little bit more activity in the hands so they're nice and active. Softening your knees just a little bit as you get into the lumbar. Take a breath in and exhale out. And I'm not going to have you come down as far on the next one. Let's do one more. So thumbs back just a little bit there, and don't roll them back, just pull them back. Take a breath in, exhale down. That looks nice. So feel that upper back stretch, feel that mid back stretch right as you get into the low back. Soften the knees just a little bit to protect that back. Whether you need it or not, we're going to stop right there. That's what I want. Now as you come up, push your sacrum under, wrap your abdominals up. And instead of rolling your shoulders back, just let them come back to that pod. That was excellent. Awesome! That's it. That's our workout for the day. Good job. Hey guys, thanks for joining me. I so appreciate your support and joining me in these videos. If you like what you see, smash that like button and hit subscribe to become a part of the Pilates Live channel. Thanks again, be kind, and have a great day.